Today's day 25 of the Leap Option Challenge. As you know, I'm giving you every single one of my trades even before I get in. My goal is to help you make as much money as possible, follow these trades, and today I'm going to teach you a key lesson. The most important thing you need to understand with leaps if you want to make the most amount of money. As you know, on X and on Instagram, we are posting the entries and exits on there. If you want the instant updates, make sure to head to those platforms. Link in my description. That way you don't miss out on some easy wins or some early exits. So here's what's happened so far. Qualcomm, BA, Grab, those are exited for profits. 20% in Grab, 12% in BA, 34% in QCOM. We also wrote covered calls and made an extra, I think, 10% on that. So this is small. These are just very tiny wins. And I want to show you the big one. I want to show you a high conviction trade. And today I'm going to teach you how to figure that out. But again, the updates are exits with QCOM, entry with NEE. Brand new trade, 10% of the account is in NEE. In the trades, currently we have 4 of them. Obviously, I'm only holding some red ones because I've exited all the green ones. And I'm waiting to hit the big one with you guys. So even though it was 4, it doesn't mean anything. This is all just noise until we go for the big win. We go for the big trade to go all in on. And so the goal of this challenge is I want to hit as many 100% trades as possible. I want to make sure when we get in, it's 2 weeks, hopefully to 100%. That's my goal. Maybe it could be 4, but I want to hit as many 100%ers as I can. Because when you buy an option, you need to make twice as much as you can lose. And typically, options will decrease 50 to 60% in value. That's where my stop loss is after I've held it enough. So for example, for a leap option, you don't take a stop loss if you have 11 months left or 10 months. Typically, if you have 6 months to go, that's when you take a stop. So the one thing I want to teach you today, and the only thing you need to walk away from this video understanding, is sizing into a big opportunity. That is your one goal when you're buying into leaps. Find one thing you can size into and keep buying and have the most amount of profit from it. And the last goal of this challenge is to help as many people as possible win and make money. So let's go over some of these goals more in depth. The 100% trade. This almost happened in Grab. This almost happened in Qualcomm. We're at 70, we're at 80% profit just 2 weeks into those trades. So I exited those early for less than 100% because I missed the 100%, if that makes sense. My goal is to get you guys 100%. And these trades were inches away because what happens when you hit this is you typically sell half, let half run, find a new trade. But what I wasn't able to do is that. I couldn't sell anything because I missed the 100% by like 10 or 15. And so now I want to go to the next play. This is what I think of as stale momentum. You know, we had the momentum and it just dipped. It went away, it disappeared. So I don't want to stick in this play with my money. I want to make sure I follow rule number 3, which is help as many traders win as possible. So I don't want money tied up. I want to get it out, find a new trade, help you guys make money in the next best one. So the 100% setup, the 100% run, that's what we're trying to achieve. We almost had it with 2 trades so far. We're trying to get you guys in the other trades that can do that. Here's the most important lesson to understand. Size up for the best trade. That is your only goal. When you have a portfolio, you're always dividing up the capital. A little bit goes there, a little bit goes there. Gold right now for us is a 10% position size. Airbnb is 20, Uber is 20. What I want to do is date these. I want to date these, watch these, figure out if I want to marry these tickers. Because once you make that decision to marry a leap, you go and double your position size. You triple it maybe. And so that means we're going to be adding to one of these plays. One of these might be perfect, and we might push it to 40%, 30% of our portfolio. Sizing up, sizing into a play is really how you make big money. And so my goal in this challenge is not only to hit a bunch of 100% winners, which we pretty much almost did, but I want to pick one trade and be heavy in it. Be heavy and win big. Because what you don't want to do at the end of the day is just have a bunch of small wins, a bunch of tiny wins that add up to maybe 20%, 10% gains. You want a big double. You want your account to double. You want it to triple. You want it to go to the moon, right? That's what Leaps can allow. So all of these trades have been just peanuts compared to what I want to achieve with one. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. These are all the leaps I've taken with one of my private leap coaching programs I'm developing this out. It's not public yet. We had one trade go for 800%. 800%. That's what I'm talking about. The question you have to ask yourself is, how do I know when to get in? How do I recognize that setup? How do I know how to size in? How do I get more position into that? Because if you took $2,000 versus 20 versus 200K, like, it doesn't move the needle in your life. 2K going to, who knows, let's say 20, cool, you made 18 grand. That's nothing. That's not life-changing money at all. How do we put 100K into a leap? How do we put 50K into a leap? Because 50 going to 500K, then that's something that we can do something within our life, right? So none of this changes my life. I can say that, unfortunately, 5K, 10K doesn't change my life. I'm looking to find the trade that can turn 50K to 100, right? So 50K, that buys me a vacation. That's pretty much it, but it doesn't change my life. So I'm trying to teach you guys how to find life-changing trades and money, and it does require having conviction at the right time and the right setup and buying heavy. So when I finish up this video, I'm just going to go over the past plays, go over what I'm thinking, what my goal is. But this is the goal, just so you know, is to figure out how to size up these positions to more. You're buying a little bit. We're just getting to date them. Hopefully you guys didn't marry any trades yet. You're going to have to buy more. You're going to have to pick that size up. It's going to be exciting. That's how we're going to get hopefully life-changing money. But in the meantime, we've cranked good profits, everybody. We have cranked a lot of quick wins that have hit 30, 50, maybe even 80% for some people. And hopefully you guys did well. I'm going to show you one trade I've been buying for months. I can't call this out on the public channel because I bought it months ago before the challenge started, but Pfizer is inside of like the private leap community. We've been looking at this. This is a play I knew was a good entry. I knew was a good stock months ago. And when I want to teach you guys how to size, this is a really good example of a stock that gave you an opportunity to size up. Basically, you would have bought any of these candles and you just sit there, nothing happens. You hate your life, right? But you do more research. You like the stock. The valuation looks good. It trades inside like this. This inside action is where the big boom happens. And this still has a chance to run to the 30s. So there's a lot of opportunity in Pfizer. I'm not calling it out on here. I might, but this is a play that in 1 day, 2 day, the leaps I was looking at, again, we bought these months ago. They're up 50% in a day, maybe 60, 50 to 60%. And that is just the beginning, because what you want to do is make life-changing money with big size. So we want this to make 300%. And let me show you. So you can see it where I think I have the 30 calls for December next year. If I want to make 300% on this play, we need to basically hit 30, which is the strike price I bought, which is kind of funny how that happens. But the point is, it is very possible to make that and hit that. I mean, my profit target, the first one will probably hit 27 in scale, but honestly, the next key level is going to be 30. So if you really think you bought it at the right time, you have this opportunity to hit 30, sizing in and being patient is the next step. You got to let this thing make 300%, or else it's not going to really do anything for you. So that's the biggest lesson I can give you guys. Like, I'm showing you trades, I'm entering trades, we're managing it, but my goal is to go and hit a big one. Hit a behemoth and size into that. And so we're not even close to what I want to do here. So let me go through the past plays, give you the update. Everyone's always asking what I think about things. Uber has been flat for like 3 months inside this range, and we did not close the monthly candle above. So a rejection, not the greatest candle to end September. So this is not awesome. I would love to see it push and hold, but it didn't. So we still have a chance to push next month. It can happen. The only thing I'm worried about is the triple Qs pulling back. The overall market should pull back in October. That's when I'm going to go in with size, okay? So we're not looking to be sized in today. We're looking to kind of date these stocks, get a little bit used to them, and they're going to get cheap. We're going to size, and it's going to be exciting. So Uber is probably one of my favorite plays to buy long term, but if we get that October discount, we'll size in, ride it up. Airbnb, that's another stock that's discounted from our entry. So Uber is up from our entry, Airbnb's down. Basically, we're just waiting to add. So if Airbnb can give us a wick next month, or we start going green, we might look to buy and look for this breakout, because look how long this consolidation has been. I'm really banking on consolidation stopping for Airbnb and hoping this breaks the upside of that. This would be a massive, massive win if we can do that. So Airbnb, beautiful setup, very tight, just hasn't pushed anywhere. So we're just springing like Pfizer. Pfizer made 50% in a day. Airbnb is a play I expect to break from the spring. So Airbnb, Uber, and then I recently bought NEE. I'll make a video on Thursday why I bought it, why I like it. Another very, very, very tight long-term setup. But more importantly, like this range here is just so pinned. And this is a quality stock. So quality stocks that are pinned in an uptrend like this are going to be rocket ships. So I would love to size more into NEE. This is probably my number one play to add size to. Uber's number 2. Airbnb's probably last. So that's NEE. I'll talk about the reasons why I like it in the Thursday video. But again, October should be a discount. Let's all be prepared to buy more. And then lastly, gold was a hedge. Basically, if the markets pull back, I don't want to be not able to profit from that. The gold hedge is instantly against us and running up. So we might even scale into a hedge. Who knows? I still have about 40% cash right now. So all of the trades I could basically add 5% to and still have cash available. So the sizing ability is still high. Like the size we're at now is not what we want. We want to push it higher. And like I've said before, like these gaps, these fair value gaps on gold, they will get filled. So I'm actually more attracted to gold here as a hedge because it keeps pushing. And I can basically buy now 10, 15% cheaper. So keep being patient. It's going to be a tough October. We are looking to keep managing these trades and hit one really, really big winner with conviction. That's my goal. Watch the video to the right of me on the 3 picks plays. We have some insane rippers just from that video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Have a good week.